today to find out the numbers of what happened in 2014, that funding has been at the highest level since the 2000s, that there was a 58% jump in M&A activity. I knew there had been a lot of M&A. We were incredibly busy, but 58% is huge, so I was surprised by that. I was also interested to hear that, at least according to the statistics that Cromwell shared with us, only 7% of those M&A deals actually led to the investors making money. I'm not sure I buy that. I think we've, at least in our practice, seen much higher statistics, but that was an interesting number. And then also he said around 2/3 of the deals that had exits, they had no VC backing. So I find that very interesting as well. Where did those people get their funding? How did they grow without VC funding? And I guess that's encouraging to all companies out there that there are lots of different roads to get capital. So hearing the activity of what went on in 2014 was really interesting to me today, and lots of speculation about whether we're in a bubble and when and if it might burst. Panel, I wasn't aware of the statistical numbers. I definitely knew from our practice and the activity that we saw that the numbers were up across the board. At one point last year in the summer, I was working on 7 M&A deals all at the same time, so I knew that things were really crazy. We definitely see a lot more investment, a lot more up rounds, many more companies getting formed and financed. So we have definitely lived the experience of 2014 that everything was on the rise. M&A, IPOs, private company financing. But it was interesting to me to hear on the panel exactly how much things had changed and that folks were experiencing it across the board. That's a big question. I don't think anybody went on paper taking a position as to exactly what the numbers will be or whether or not the bubble will burst, but people seem fairly bullish and optimistic. I think there was a lot of discussion about the Internet of Things, the SaaS market, there would be a rise in vertical clouds, that technology would be applied to markets and companies that haven't used technology in the past. Deborah interestingly talked about the application of technology to agriculture as something that's on the rise worldwide. So that was very interesting. And I think on a whole, the panel seemed to think that there would be continued growth in 2015. One of the guests actually said he doesn't think it's a bubble, he thinks it's a tidal wave that will go on for many, many years. So my fingers are crossed that he's right, because that would be good for all of us.